Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into another intense story from the AITA thread. This one involves a family in therapy, a 16-year-old girl being accused of lying, and a lot of emotional baggage that comes with blending families. So, sit tight, grab some tissues if you need, because this one hits hard. Let's get into it. Now, this is already a tough situation, right? You're in therapy, you're trying to work things out with your family, and suddenly, you're being accused of lying. That's gotta hurt. But let's dig into what actually happened here. So, our storyteller here is a 16-year-old girl, and she's in group therapy with her mom and her mom's husband. The backstory is that her dad passed away, and a few years later, her mom remarried. Naturally, this kind of situation can be emotionally complex, but things really took a turn after a conversation they had before moving in together. Her mom and stepdad basically laid out a plan to be this new, happy family of three. They even brought up Father's Day, saying it would be nice for her to have a dad again. But here's the thing, she made it crystal clear back then that she wasn't on board. She told them straight up, she didn't want another dad. She wasn't ready to replace the one she lost, and that's completely valid. Pause for emphasis. But what happens? They laugh it off, and they proceed with their plans anyway. And for the past 3 years, they've been trying to push this new dad role on her, especially around Father's Day, which is such an emotional time for her. This year, it all comes to a head when her stepdad loses his temper. He says he didn't sign up to be nothing to her. And I mean, you can feel the weight of those words. He clearly wants to be close, but the way they're forcing it on her? That's not how you build trust or family. Now, here's where things get even more intense. They're in therapy trying to work on their issues. But instead of her mom understanding why she might not want to celebrate Father's Day with someone who isn't her dad, she accuses her of lying, saying that she promised to bond with her stepdad and agreed to celebrate Father's Day. Can you imagine that? Being accused of promising something you know you never did, and being called a liar for it? That's a deep emotional betrayal. At this point, our storyteller is just done. She's zoning out in therapy, and I don't blame her. When you're constantly talked over, accused, and never apologized to, it's like, what's the point of even engaging? Therapy is supposed to be a safe space, but when one side dominates and never lets the other speak, it stops being helpful. So, is she the a-hole for zoning out and refusing to engage? Absolutely not. Therapy is about communication and growth, but that can't happen when one side refuses to listen. I think what's really happening here is that her mom and stepdad are struggling to deal with their own emotions, and instead of working through them, they're projecting those frustrations onto her. And that's not fair. She's not wasting anyone's time. In fact, she's setting a boundary, a much-needed one. The real issue here is the lack of respect for her feelings and the refusal to acknowledge her truth. What do you all think? Should she be blamed for zoning out in therapy, or is it the adults in the room who need to do some reflecting? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more thought-provoking content. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.